help you?
You Miss Nellie Cashman?
Yes, I am.
Well, I'm a friend of Bill Doolin's, and he told me his wife Katie was staying here. I got a message for her.
Well, Bill can tell her himself. He'll be in on the 1 o'clock stage in just a few minutes.
Well, that's part of the message, ma'am. Bill ain't going to be on it.
Why? Something happened?
No, there's just a little delay. He'll be in on a later stage.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll tell her.
Well, the rest of the message is kind of personal, ma'am, and Bill, he wanted me to tell her that part of it myself, personally.
It's number 7, just down the hall. Harris, you were eavesdropping.
Mm-hmm.
For the news, of course.
Oh, of course.
Well, at least you're honest. Bill. You're not Bill.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened. In the town too tough to die.
Tombstone Territory.
Early afternoon, July 29, 1886. Hello, Clay.
Oh, Harris. What can I do for the mighty epitaph today?
Well, I'm doing a story on Bill Doolin. Thought you might like to make a statement for me.
All right. Bill Doolin's welcome.
Is that all?
That's it.
Well, I hope you can spare it. Look, you're the one who sent him off to jail, Clay.
Well, look, Harris, I've got nothing against Bill. He's done his 5 years, he's clean, and he's welcome. When I see him, I'll let him know. But if you're really hurting for a story, why don't you talk to Mr. Willison?
Mr. Willison?
He's the federal attorney who's going to prosecute Ab Clinton for murder.
Oh, I've done that story to death, Clay. Everything about it, including the fact that you're the chief witness against Ab. It's old stuff. No offense to you, Mr. Willison.
What's the matter, Harris? Things too dull for you? Me, I like 'em that way.
Well, there's the 1 o'clock stage. Come on!
Mrs. Doolin here?
Well, you must be Bill Doolin. Hello, I'm so glad to know you. Katie's spoken of you so often.
Is she here?
Well, no, she isn't. I think she left with that friend of yours, the man who brought the message that you wouldn't be on the 1 o'clock stage.
I was on the stage and I sent no message.
You Doolin. You better come with me, Doolin.
What do you want?
Ain't nothing I want. If you want to see your wife again, you better come with me.
That afternoon, Bill Doolin was taken to a shack, a short ride from Tombstone. So you're Doolin.
That's right.
We've got your wife. Oh, she's safe.
Who are you?
Clinton is the name. This is my boy Joe. I've got another boy named Ab. He's in jail in Tombstone.
I don't see as how this has anything to do with me.
My boy Ab is up on a murder charge. They say he killed a man. Oh, he did it. But he isn't going to hang. They've only got one witness, the sheriff. And if he doesn't get to court, they've got no case. I want you to see that the sheriff doesn't testify.
I'm not doing your dirty work.
Maybe I didn't make it clear. It'll be your wife or the sheriff, one or the other.
Why me? Why not him?
This is a job for a man, not a boy.
What do you mean? I can take care of that sheriff.
Have you seen those graves out on Boot Hill? A lot of them are filled with men that thought they were better than the sheriff.
Well, I don't care nothing about that.
You'll do as I say. You were right, Mr. Doolin. A man ought to do his dirty work himself. But I've got one boy up for murder and the other itching for a kill. If this isn't done right, they'll both be dead. Killed or hanged. I don't like what I'm doing, but I see no other way. And when this is done, I'm going to take my boys back home to Chicago. I don't like it, Doolin, but this is the way it's got to be.
Where is Katie?
Put away, safe. You get the sheriff, you'll get her back.
I got no reason to kill Hollister.
Sent your way, didn't he? You came back to get him. Nobody's going to blame you if it's a fair draw. It's got to be the way I say. Your wife or the sheriff.
You want it done?
Now.
If anything happens to Katie, I'll get you. And him.
Doolin had his orders. In Tombstone, the grim stage was set.
Hi, Bill. What's Doolin up to?
Bill, welcome back to Tombstone.
Hollister, you're a crawbelly coward. Hiding behind a badge.
You gonna take that? Or are you gonna be man enough to try to do something about it?
Well, what's eating on you, Bill?
Draw your gun, Hollister.
Oh, now, hold on.
Make your play.
No. You're not pushing me into a gunfight.
Bill, no! You've got to think of Katie. This isn't going to do any good.
You've got 24 hours to get out of Tombstone.
You ever see a quicker draw than that?
The morning of July 30. The epitaph had already gone to press. Bill Doolin is welcome in Tombstone, says Sheriff Hollister. Makes a fine story, doesn't it? You welcome a gunman and he turns around and tries to kill you. The town's concerned. I think you ought to make a statement.
I already made one. It still stands.
Are you serious?
I am.
Well, it doesn't make sense.
No,
eh?
it doesn't, Harris, and that's what worries me. Why does Bill Doolin want to kill me?
I don't know. The point is he does. The other point is, what are you going to do about it?
Try to find out why.
The people are scared, Clay, and I don't blame them. They need reassurance from you.
Such as what?
Such as what? A man embittered by 5 years in prison tries to kill you. A sensible man would simply put him in jail where he belongs.
Well, I'll do that if it's necessary, but I'm not ready yet. Something about this just doesn't add up.
You're a stubborn mule.
Mule, huh?
Print that and I'll sue you for libel.
I might just win.
When I told Bill about the stranger, all he said was that he had never sent a message to Katie.
Well, do you know who the stranger was?
No, I never saw him before in my life. And the funny thing is that Katie never came to pick any clothes up.
Did Katie talk much about Bill?
All the time.
Did you get the impression that he was bitter?
No. As a matter of fact, she showed me one of his letters once. In it, he said how glad he was that the old life was over with and how happy he was to be starting a new one.
Yeah, but to the best of your knowledge, did he hold a grudge against me?
No. Well, Katie never said anything, but Clay, I'm sure he didn't.
He said that they had plans for a new life. Do you know what they were?
Katie had bought a few acres out by Willow Creek. When Bill came back, he was going to farm it and eventually get a few head of cattle. There was nothing on that property but a little old shack.
Thanks for all the help.
Be careful, Clay. Bill is fast.
Yeah, we know that, don't we?
From a storage room above Allen Street, the Clintons kept a close check on Clay Hollister.
Take it easy.
Sheriff ain't packing his gun. How come?
That way, maybe he thinks Doolin won't shoot him.
Hollister seems about to visit Doolin. You circle around, beat him there.
I got something else to do.
Get moving. Get at it.
Hello, Bill. I've come for an explanation.
You got till sunset to get out of town.
What are you trying to prove?
The deadline's sunset.
Look, I rode out here without a gun because
Because you knew I wouldn't shoot a man that was unarmed.
Because I want you to see that we haven't got any differences. Why do you want to shoot me?
I got no choice. It's Katie's life or yours. I got no choice.
Noon, July 30, 1886. The sheriff's authority had been challenged. Fear began to snake its way through the people of Tombstone. If Clay Hollister couldn't stop the threat of a gunman, what chance did the people have? Things are out of hand, Clay. You've got no choice. You've got to jail Doolin. You've just got to. Living 5 years with a grudge must have twisted his mind.
Oh, he's not twisted, Harris. You don't understand. He said something about my life or Katie's.
Well, I'm trying to understand. I'm especially trying to understand you.
Hello, Clay. Did you want to see me?
Yeah.
Hello,
That stranger that came to see Katie, did he look like a Clinton?
Well, I don't know the Clintons.
What about you, Harris? Could that have been Ab's brother?
Well, he didn't look like Ab.
I think there was a brother.
Wait a minute. It seems to me
Seem to you what?
that Ab Clinton threw a big party, a sort of a family reunion. Sure he did. 3 years ago. He even had a picture taken at Ebel's studio on Tough Nut Street. I'm going to check the epitaph files.
We'll meet you at Ebel's.
You gotta excuse me, Sheriff, but it's been almost 3 years. These files get sloppy.
The picture, Sam.
Man, you'd think it was a matter of life and death.
It is.
The picture.
There it is. The Clinton party.
That's the man who brought the message to Katie.
Name is Joseph Clinton.
Here it is. I found it. Present at the party honoring Ab Clinton was his brother Joseph, who hails from Phoenix. Also present was his father William Clinton, who came all the way from Chicago, where he figures prominently on the wheat exchange in that city.
Yeah, that's old man Clinton.
The Clintons have Katie.
You'd better arrest the father and Joe. Start a posse searching.
No, by the time you got to Katie, she'd be dead. The Clintons have you very neatly trapped.
Yeah, I guess we'll just have to have another talk with Doolin.
Look, I'm a friend of Katie's. Maybe I...
No.
Well, what about me? I'll go. But what'll I say to Doolin?
We'll have to figure that out.
I tried to tell him. He wouldn't listen.
I like Bill.
I'll try again.
Whiskey.
Joe has Katie in a room looking down on the street. If you don't get Hollister, she'll never leave that room. If you kill him, get on your horse and ride out to the shack. Half an hour later, we'll put Katie on a horse and send her after you. Let's go.
As soon as I finish my drink.
What were you talking about?
He tried to sell me a subscription to the Epitaph.
The afternoon of July 30, 1886. 24 hours had passed. It was obvious Clay Hollister was not leaving Tombstone.
Did you speak to Bill?
I talked to him, but I don't know what he'll do.
You can't gun a sheriff and get away with it, Bill.
Draw.
You got no reason.
Draw!
Bring him to my house.
Now you just keep your mouth shut and you'll see your husband.
Here, put him on the table. Take the stuff. Somebody go and get a doctor, quickly. Thank you very much. We can manage now.
Boy, he is fast.
I'm glad he listened and missed.
Yeah.
Hey, Hollister, do you mean to say that you planned this whole thing with Bill Doolin?
Clay.
Well, it looks that way.
Clay, they've got Katie upstairs above the barber shop.
It's my part of the deal.
Katie?
see me, Clay?
Yeah, Billy, I want you to sign a complaint.
Against who?
Father of the Clinton boys. Walker, bring in Mr. Clinton.
What happens to the old man now?
Conspiracy to commit murder, kidnapping, a life sentence for sure. Take off your hat. Can you identify him as the man who plotted the whole thing?
I've been to jail. I can't be responsible for putting a man behind bars, no matter what he's trying to do to me.
Maybe it doesn't matter. He's got a conscience.
Old man Clinton went home without his sons. Tombstone never saw him again.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone.
In Tombstone, he was to be returned to Tombstone to stand trial in the United States Circuit Court.
You let me out of here! You ain't got no right to hold me in here. You hear me? You let me out of here!
You'll get out when the sheriff from Tombstone picks you up, and not before. Now shut up and lie down.
You ain't got no right to hold me in here. I didn't shoot nobody in Tombstone.
Now, why don't you lay down like the sheriff says? Jail ain't so bad once you get used to it.
Yeah. Well, I ain't ever gonna get used to it. Not never.
Then lay down. On the bench. Closer. We can break clean out of here, kid.
But I didn't kill nobody in Tombstone. He can't hold me for that.
Maybe. But that Tombstone sheriff's gonna pick you up anyway, right or wrong. Now try it my way. Free or dead. There ain't no in between.
All right. You tell me what I gotta do.
It's easy. I ain't a man exactly without friends.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened. In the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory. That same morning, November 8, 1881, I finished a small notice about the capture in Red Rock of one Robert Pickett, accused of killing a storekeeper about a year ago. I put my paper to bed. I went to look in on the sheriff, Clay Hollister, who was riding out to Red Rock.
Oh, Harris. You're up kind of early.
Late. Up kind of late.
Excuse me. Oh, thanks, Jim.
Sometimes I get the same feeling about bedding down my press that you do about saddling your own horse.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Do it yourself, you know it's done right. Particularly for a long ride.
Where you headed, Sheriff?
Business. I hear you're going to Red Rock. I'm going over to Johnsonville. I thought maybe we'd ride part way together. Two are a lot better than one, with the Apaches straying off the reservation the way they are.
Well, sometimes with Apaches, it's better to ride alone.
All right, you have it your way. Rumor is you're bringing Bob Pickett back for trial. Sheriff Pickett's a no-good killer. Bringing him back's a waste of time. If it was up to me, I'd let my .45 save the taxpayers some money.
Mr. Dempsey, under the law, a man is innocent until he's proven guilty.
You don't know Bob Pickett. He's a ruthless murderer. He shot my partner down in cold blood.
Everybody knows how you feel about him, Mr. Dempsey, but I think I'll wait for a jury's verdict.
All right. Like I said, you have it your way.
Clay, take Jim with you.
I gotta leave somebody here to mind the store.
He's been talking revenge ever since Pickett killed his partner.
Well, there's no place in the law for revenge.
Nor in a newspaper. Could spoil an editor's whole purpose.
In a lawman, it could spoil his aim.
Remember now, Pickett. When we hit that street, you grab the first horse you see. And whatever way I go, you go the other. Now, if you get to Johnsonville first, you wait for me. If I get there first, I'll wait for you. That is, if you want to join up with me.
Yeah, I do.
What are you trying to do, starve us to death?
It's about time you gave us some grub, ain't it? We ain't had some supper.
Don't make a move. You go over to that desk and pick up them keys.
Now, you got a wife, Sheriff. You ain't gonna be much good to her dead. Hold it. Now throw him here. I said throw him. Right there, keys, Smith. Sunlight, get fast. Come on, come on. Hold it. All right, pitch it here. Real easy. Real easy.
Well, I wasn't shooting at you. I was shooting at them.
How many of them were there? Well, there's one this morning, but 3 haven't been following me since noon, but I've only seen 2 around here.
Where's your horse?
He's down there.
You better go get him.
That same day, Hugh Dempsey rode the trail to Red Rock and Johnsonville. Dempsey was determined that Pickett would never return to Tombstone.
Let's rest the horses.
What about them Apaches?
Just have to take our chances. Might as well eat. You know, it's a little risky traveling around this country without food and water.
Well, I was only going as far as Johnsonville, and them Apaches forced me out of my way.
Yeah, well, I got enough for 2.
Thanks a lot. I won't eat much.
Not much of a selection. This isn't the Maison Dorée.
Are you from Tombstone?
Yeah. You ever eat at the Maison Dorée? That lobster from the Gulf?
No, I ain't never been to Tombstone. But I heard about the Maison Dorée. How far do you suppose we are from Johnsonville?
With or without Apaches?
Well, I don't suppose we've got much choice about that, have we?
No. Should take you about half a day, depending on how long it takes to get through Apache Pass. Say, I owe you a thanks for this morning.
Oh, that's all right. You think them Indians are still following us?
It's kind of hard to say. What part of the country are you from?
And me? I'm from Oklahoma. Where you headed?
Red Rock? What part of Oklahoma?
Oh, northwest part of the country.
Well, what do they call you in the northwest part of Oklahoma?
Gray, Sonny Gray.
This is your first brush with Apaches, isn't it?
Yep. Well, we don't have any that's wild like this back in Oklahoma.
It's a white man.
I'm sure glad of that.
Yeah. We can use all the eyes we can get going through this country. It's Hugh Dempsey.
Hugh Dempsey?
Yeah, Hugh Dempsey. Do you know him? Put that away, Dempsey.
That's right, Mr. Dempsey. You don't need it.
I don't. You put down that rifle. Now drop your gun belt. Drop it.
What's this all about?
You know who this man is?
Yeah, I just met him. His name's Gray.
This is the man you started out to get. His name is Bob Pickett.
Noon, November 8, 1881. The party headed back to Tombstone. Now Sheriff Hollister knew a great deal more than he had before. He suspected even more than that.
I'm gonna let him know in Tombstone you gave a murderer back his gun.
This is Apache country. You can't let a man go unarmed.
Don't draw that gun, Pickett!
All right, hold it.
Get out of here, Pickett. Save yourself.
All right, now, Sheriff, give me your guns, one at a time.
I guess you know he tried to shoot you in the back.
That's a lie.
He figured it was safe. He'd trick you into going for your gun, and the killing would be self-defense.
That's another lie. I just tried to draw his attention so you could get away.
I want to hear it from you, Sheriff, and I don't want no lies about it.
Charge against you in Tombstone's murder.
I never killed anybody.
Dempsey says you did.
Hogwash.
Just suppose you tell me who he said I killed.
His partner.
Son, I never said any such thing.
As soon as we get back to Tombstone, you can check on it. Dempsey laid the complaint against you. It's a matter of record.
Dempsey killed his partner, Sheriff, and I saw him do it.
Pickett, you just saw me try to save you. Can't you see he's lying? He's trying to split us up, and you're letting him do it.
Now he's going to have to kill us both, Pickett. Because I know, too.
Are you going to believe him or me? Son, I still need you to help me with the store. From now on, we can be full partners.
Like he says, maybe you will be his partner. But you know better than anybody what happens to his partner.
Both of you shut up now. I got to think about this.
Come back to Tombstone and see for yourself.
Pickett, if you go back to Tombstone with Hollister, you're going to hang.
We're going to Johnsonville.
The afternoon of November 8, Sheriff Hollister, Pickett, and Dempsey rode the trail to Johnsonville. All the guns still in the hands of Pickett.
That's Apache Pass. We'd be better off to head north and then cut back to Red Rock.
Now, I got to get to Johnsonville. I promised somebody. Now, you lead on. What are you stopping for? Go on.
I think you're going to have to decide whether to trust the Indians or me.
And how do you know there's Indians around here?
I don't. But if there are, I'll be more help with a gun.
So will I.
And supposing there ain't no Indians?
And either way, you keep your scalp. You see, I need you back in Tombstone alive, just like you need me to help fight Apaches. If there are any.
No. We go on just like before. Get going.
Don't act like you suspect anything, but that body's probably Apache bait. We're too far into the past to back out now. We better look like we've taken the bait. All right, the fun's over. Give me the guns. Give them to me. Give Dempsey his. Give it to him, but keep an eye on him. Now we're going to gallop in there just like they expect us to. And follow my lead. Let's go. You're under arrest, Dempsey.
It's not going to be that easy, Sheriff.
You better drop that gun. You get a fair trial, but this way, you haven't got a chance.
You haven't got a chance. It's 2 against 1. That dead man down there is Ralph Dade.
1 against 1.
No. Now, Pickett's with me. Between us, we can gun you. Then we'll both be free. Mr. Dempsey? Did you say I killed your partner? No, sir, no, of course not. We both know I did it.
There's one way to find out for sure. Come back to Tombstone.
If he moves that gun, you let him have it.
Killing's not that easy, Dempsey. Not for most people. It leaves a heavy mark like it has on you. A lawman hates it most of all. It's part of his job, he does it. But he never forgets it.
Pickett, tell the sheriff you were with me.
I don't think so, Dempsey. If you shoot, you shoot alone. I'm betting the boy's not a killer. I know you are. I'm putting you under arrest now. Drop that gun or use it. All right, Pickett, let's go.
What's all the shouting about?
Oh, hello, Harris.
What's up, Clay?
Oh, I'm glad you could make it. Take him on back.
That Pickett?
Yeah.
He's not a bad-looking boy.
Well, I better get this over to the funeral parlor.
Who's that?
Dempsey?
Pickett killed him, too?
No, I killed him. He was trying to resist arrest for the murder of his partner.
Dempsey? Never even occurred to me. No wonder he was so anxious to see Pickett dead. Wouldn't it be ironic?
How's that?
They buried Dempsey next to his partner on Boot Hill.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory.
He was headed for Chicago. But two of the men on the train were not going to Chicago.
Here we are, to the next president of the United States, Grover Cleveland! Now, wait a minute. You boys don't look happy. Why ain't you happy going to Chicago to nominate that great American Grover Cleveland? Say, you ain't blaming, are you? Why, we'd throw blaming right off of this train.
Now, look here, I don't want any trouble. I'm Bledsoe, deputy marshal from San Antonio. And this here's Sam Carver. Murdered an express agent in the holdup, then broke jail by killing an unarmed guard. I ran him down in Prescott. And now we're heading back. And neither of us is in the mood for any hijinks.
Well, maybe you don't feel like hijinks, Marshal, but the condemned man looks like he needs a little cheering up. How about a drink, Carver?
He's not drinking.
What's the harm in the poor devil having a bracer? Huh, boys?
All right. If I let him have one drink, will you boys leave us alone?
Why, sure, Marshal. Just one little drink. A toast to Grover Cleveland.
Stand in your tracks. First man that moves, I'll kill him.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory. June 24, 1884. Morning, Clay. Bringing your diary up to date?
No, accounts, bookwork, reports. People have the idea that being a sheriff is 1/10 chasing after criminals and 9/10 sleeping in the sun.
Ah, don't get yourself all riled up so early in the morning. It's bad for your liver. And I hear you've got somebody to chase.
Yeah, Sam Carver. He was being taken in for murder when he jumped a train last night north of here.
Sam Carver. Wasn't he mixed up in that cattle rustling and butchering ring here about 3 years ago?
That's right. I couldn't prove anything definite on him, but feeling was running so high in town that I had to move him out of Tombstone for his own protection. Say, I'm gonna go out and talk to his sister, Amy Hendricks.
She and Roy are mighty good people, Clay. Hard workers, devoted to that youngster of theirs. And it's a wonder what they've done to the old Walker place since they took it over. Now why ride out there and get Amy all upset about her brother? She'll get the news soon enough.
Lucy?
What do you mean?
Well, Carver's on foot without money and supplies. He just might head for the place where he's sure getting help. If he suddenly showed up there, Roy and Amy might get involved. I want to make sure they don't.
Roy and Amy Hendricks aren't the kind to aid and abet a murderer, even if he is a relative.
Well, maybe not, but the report said Carver was armed. He may not have a choice. Hi, Bruce.
Hi, Mr. Hollister.
It's a fat, sassy coon you got there.
His name's Bandit. See the mask over his eyes?
Yeah. Say, your folks home?
Well, Pop ain't, but my mom is.
Bruce, it's almost lunchtime. Well, hello, Clay. What brings you out to see us?
Well,
You better go wash up, Bruce.
Yeah, sure. See you later, Mr. Hollister.
Yes, Clay.
Boy tells me your husband isn't home, Miss Hendricks. I'm sorry. I wanted to talk to both of you. When was the last time you heard from Sam?
About 8 months ago, he wrote us from San Antonio. He needed money. He's not in trouble, is he?
I'm afraid so.
What happened?
He killed 2 men and badly injured another one.
Oh, no, there must be some mistake. Well, Sam's always been rough and wild. And he's been weak, but... Well, Sam wouldn't kill.
I'm sorry, ma'am. There is no mistake.
You haven't changed a bit, have you, Clay? You always were ready to condemn him without proof. Why did you come out here, Sheriff, just to gloat?
No, ma'am. I came out here to prepare you and to warn you.
Of what?
Well, there's a chance that Sam may come to you for help. If you give it to him, it's a criminal offense and subject to prosecution.
Sam wouldn't come near us or Tombstone.
I hope not, because if he does, I expect you to let me know.
You expect? You expect? Even if he were to come here, what right have you to expect me to betray him?
My right as the representative of the people that gave me this badge? Your neighbors, friends. Would you betray them?
Go away, please.
Times I'm not overly fond of my job. This happens to be one of them.
Sheriff? I suppose you were just doing your duty. I'm sorry.
All I'm asking is for you and Roy to be careful.
You will have it then that blood's thicker than water, won't you?
Isn't it?
Well, the majesty of the law seems a little crestfallen.
Harris, there ought to be a special course in how to deal with women.
Kitten have claws?
Oh, no, not that, but I did get her upset. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is all for nothing.
One thing I've learned in a checkered career, Clay, The view's terrible looking backward. If you made a botch of things, forget it.
Thanks.
And as for women, you could study them for the rest of your life and wind up an ignoramus on the subject. As Alexander Pope said, woman's at best a contradiction still.
Mr. Clyburn, you're a great comfort to me.
Not me. Alexander Pope.
hardly believe it's you. Oh, when the sheriff said...
Sheriff? Sheriff said what? When?
Oh, yesterday. They're looking for you, Sam. They say you killed 2 men.
Amy, it wasn't like that. You gotta believe me. I killed the first man in self-defense. I was innocent, but they were gonna hang me anyway.
And the second man?
I tried to get away. The guard tried to gun me down like a dog. It was either him or me.
Oh, Sam, I knew you couldn't kill anybody.
We haven't got any time for any tears. I'm hurt, Amy. I need help bad.
Oh, your leg. What have you done to it?
The iron cut it when I jumped off the train. I hobbled for miles. The leg swole up. Then an old Mexican in a wagon picked me up. He saw the irons, but he didn't care none. Not when I gave him my watch.
How long have you been up here? Why didn't you call me sooner?
I came in last night. I didn't dare rouse anybody. I don't know who's all living here on the place with you and Roy. Maybe a hired hand or two, nervous with a shotgun. Where is Roy?
He's away, but he'll be back soon, maybe even tonight. There's nobody here but Bruce and me.
Just as well. I was figuring on trouble with Roy anyway. He's always been too righteous for me.
Sam, you know you and Roy never got along, but he wouldn't deny you help, not with your hurt like this. He loves me. Why, he'd do it even if just for my sake.
I can't wait for Roy. I've got to get these irons off. Have you got a fence wire cutter on the place?
No, I don't think so. Our land's not fenced.
Then you'll have to go to Tombstone and buy one. The heaviest one you can get. All I want for now is to sever through this chain so I can straddle a horse. Well, what are you waiting for? With any luck at all, I can be clear into Mexico by tonight.
All right, Sam. I better take Bruce with me, though. We don't want him to learn you're up here. Young boys sometimes can't keep secrets.
Do as you like. Bring me some grub before you go.
All right.
And Amy.
Yes?
Watch your tongue.
Well, yes, Sam.
Well, now here's the muslin and the thread. There's the beans and the bacon. Now, was there anything else, Miss Hendricks?
No, I think that'll be all.
Huh?
Oh, Roy asked me to get him a pair of wire fence cutters, the heavy kind.
Oh, you build a fence, huh? I've just got the ticket for Roy.
Hello, Bruce.
Hello, Mr. Editor.
Well, good morning, Amy.
Good morning.
How's Roy?
Oh, he's fine, thank you.
Well, now, at least you get the job done. Well, good morning, Miss Editor, and what can I do for you?
There's no hurry, Esau. You go right ahead. Something sort of personal.
Oh, I'll be with you in a jiffy. Now, that'll be $5.50. I'll put bacon right in there, and beans here. I'll keep these here so they'll be out of the dust. There you are.
Thank you very much.
Now, I better let Bruce carry the cutters because they're kind of heavy. Here you are.
Goodbye, Mr. Clavin.
Bye, Miss Hendricks.
Goodbye, Sam.
Goodbye. Say hello to Roy for me.
I will.
And now, what was that personal matter of yours?
Clay Hollister.
We're just fresh out of Clay Hollister's.
What I came to see you about, Esau, I didn't want to mention them in front of the lady. Need some new suspenders. They lost their snap.
Oh. Well, I guess if you were as old as they are, you'd have lost your snap, too. You know what? I just got these in, and they're highly recommended to keep everything taut and tidy.
Oh, these should do the trick.
Yes. You know, I got them in special for you, because we can't have our editor losing his trousers, can we? I tell you.
The night of June 25, Roy Hendricks came home to his anxious and worried wife.
Roy, please come into the house before you go to the barn.
Amy, what's wrong? It's way after midnight. Is Bruce... I mean,
No,
there's
no,
nothing...
darling, he's all right. Sam's here. He's in the loft. He's hurt and he's sick and the law's after him.
Amy.
Roy, please. They say he killed 2 men, but he told me how it happened. He couldn't help himself. Oh, Roy, I've been so frightened without you here.
Amy, you've got to realize and understand what this means. If Sam's in trouble with the law, innocent or not, we don't dare get mixed up in it.
But he's so sick. And they had chains on his legs. I went into town to get a cutter to get him off, but by the time I got back, he was burning up with fever. He was too sick to get away like he wanted to.
All right. But sick or not, we've got to find some way to get him out of here.
Roy, don't antagonize him. He has a gun.
Let's see that leg. Looks like blood poisoning to me. Reckon we better get you a doctor and fast or you're a dead man.
Not Doc Cunningham in Tombstone. He knows me. He turned me into Hollister.
But for Amy, I'd turn you in myself. She thinks this wasn't any fault of yours.
It wasn't. Might have known the help I'd get out of you, Hendricks. Suit you to see me dead.
Suit me more if you were a long ways away from here.
Roy, I got the chain cut. And I'd been gone before now. But the sickness come over. I'm as weak as a kitten.
There's a halfway kind of doctor living over at Pima Tanks. Drunk most of the time. Does his doctoring on cattle and horses when he's middling sober, but I guess he's better than nobody.
What makes you think he won't blab?
Money. He's done his share of patching up the law's bullets. I'll pay it, Sam, just so I can get shut of you as fast as I can.
How long to get him?
I'm bone tired. Gotta get a little sleep. I'll leave at daybreak with the buckboard and be back here around noon, maybe. Remember, I'm doing this for Amy. If I had my way, I'd run you off as you are or turn you over to the sheriff.
Thanks. I'll remember.
Hello, Harris.
Morning. I was passing the telegraph office, and this just came through for you.
Oh, thank you.
It's a follow-up on the Carver case. Bledsoe, the deputy marshal, had a concussion, but he'll be all right.
Oh, well, now I don't have to open it.
What do you mean?
Well, you told me what it said.
Well, naturally glanced at it as I brought it over. My newspaper instinct.
Naturally. Hey, this description of Carver's interesting.
Description? You know what he looks like.
Yeah, but I didn't know he was wearing leg irons when he jumped off the train.
Leg irons?
Yeah. First information said he'd freed himself. Harris, if Carver's weighted down with irons, he's got to be close around here somewhere. And he's got to have help to get rid of him.
Well, what's the matter?
Clay, it might just be. Oh, confound it, it's got to be.
What has to be?
Amy Hendricks was in Stelling's yesterday buying fence cutters. Big ones. Now that I think of it, the Hendricks place is unfenced range.
The deputy's due back here in a couple of minutes. Tell him where I've gone, have him stand by around the office.
Now, there wasn't much doubt in Sheriff Clay Hollister's mind, or mine either. Sam Carver had to be at the Hendricks Ranch. Carver was a tough enough proposition in himself, but there were to be added complications. Not wanting Bruce to know about his uncle, Amy had kept Carver's hideout a secret.
Come on, Bandit. You gotta learn how to walk with a leash, and I can take you into town with me. Come on, Bandit. Don't you ever want to learn nothing? Come on. Bandit! Bandit, come on! Bandit? Bandit, where are you? Bandit! Don't you think you can get away? Bandit? Mom! Mom!
Shut up, it's your uncle.
Mom! Please, let me go! Mom! Mom! Please help me, Mom!
Sheriff!
Mom! Please, Mom!
Sheriff, he's got bruised.
Stay back. He'd kill you, sister or not.
My brother's sick. He's half out of his head. I've got to get Bruce.
Stay here. Let me take care of him. Hello, Sam. Let's you and I talk this over.
No use to talk, Sheriff. You know I'm holding all the cards.
Make your fight a man's fight. Let the boy go.
You want him to stay healthy? Take off your gun belt.
All right, Sam. Just don't hurt that boy.
That's more like it. Now, no tricks, mine. Or the boy gets it. Amy! Come in here!
Sammy's your own nephew.
It's no good. He's already killed 2 men in cold blood. You think he's gonna start acting like the fond uncle now?
Shut up. Amy, fix me some grub in a sack and a canteen of water. Me and Bruce are taking Hollister's horse. Go on.
You can't ride very far. If that leg doesn't get you, I will.
Not with this little insurance policy on the saddle in front of me. If the law comes within gun range of me, the brat dies. Now go on outside.
All right, that's far enough. Turn around. Go get the horse. Bring it here. Come on, kid. Bring me that horse. Bring me that horse or I'll kill you.
Don't do it, Roy. You haven't got a chance.
Sam?
Are you all right, son?
Sure, Pop.
Bullet went clean through. Nothing busted. How about the other ones?
You won't have to do anything for him.
Let's get him inside.
I'm sorry, Clay. It was my fault. I believed him.
It is thicker, isn't it? But it spills just as easy.
June 27, 1884.
Buy us some breakfast?
Oh, no, thanks. I've had mine. Wait a minute. This might interest you. There's the story. You want to read it? You helped write it.
Just help me forget about it.
You know, you've got one unhandy quality in a lawman, Clay. Sensitivity. Every time you're forced to kill a man, you're in the dumps for days. You know, you saw was right. These are good. Good sheriff, good suspenders. Gives a citizen a nice, secure feeling.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory to Tombstone territory.
What are you doing? Adding up the day's take and fines?
Yeah, and deducting what it costs to feed the prisoners. Well, it's no wonder the jails are supported by the taxpayers. I just can't make a nickel.
You the sheriff?
That's right.
I'm from Sunglow. Logan and his gang taking over the town again.
Where's your sheriff?
Logan killed him.
Okay, put him in the chair. Well, he's not hurt.
Pure exhaustion. He'll come around.
Yeah.
Wait. I'm coming with you.
Look, Harris, this is law business, gun business.
Yes, newspaper business, too. I'm coming.
Well, all right, but you may be writing your own obituary.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened. In the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory. High noon of July 16, 1884 was one Sunglow wouldn't forget. Harvey Logan and his men had taken over the town. Lawless, gunslinging desperados helped themselves to anything they wanted.
Get your hands out of your pocket. Now you listen to me. My boys came to this town to have a little fun and lap up some of your hospitality. Now, ain't that clear enough?
Look here, you can't go around beating up people.
Who's going to stop us? You, Mayor?
The law, public opinion, decency. There'll be troops from Fort Huachuca here this time tomorrow.
By that time, we're going to be up in the hills. Now, why don't you people just leave me and go on about your business?
Maybe it would be better if we just went about our business, Mayor. I'm sure Mr. Logan and his men meant no harm.
No harm in terrorizing a town?
I don't like you. Now get him out of here. Now it's time for the rest of you boys to unwind. Whiskey!
Yes, sir.
Play this here piano?
Yeah, I play.
Well, let's play. What's the matter? Don't you want a little drink?
Do I have a choice?
Oh, I like you.
I made a mistake about you fellas.
Oh, now, how is that?
When I first saw you, I thought you were men, but I was wrong. You're animals, all of you.
Sure, we're animals, all of us.
Hey, Logan! Thought I told you to keep watching the road.
Well, I was watching all right, Logan. There's a couple of riders coming in from Tombstone way. One of them's wearing a star.
Oh. We're gonna have some company. You get back out in the street, and you make sure everybody clears that street, because we're gonna have a party, a real surprise party. Up, everybody!
We'll play later.
Now, these two riders that are coming into town, let's give them a big welcome. Come on.
Awful quiet. Yeah, like back east. That's still just before a tornado hits.
That's far enough. Well, Clay Hollister. Tell me something, boys. Did you come here to join the local sheriff in his grave?
You've got just 10 minutes to hand over his murderer and then get out, Logan.
You hear that, boys? He's putting a time limit on our fun. I'm giving you just 2 seconds to drop your guns.
This'll catch up with you, boy. Just a matter of time. You can't take over a town.
I already have. Now, you drop those guns down. Do just like I tell you, or there won't be no witnesses.
I believe you.
Get down. Hurry up!
What are you doing here, Logan?
Well, now, this ain't Tombstone, Hollister. And I ain't beholden to answer none of your questions.
Sunglow's in the county.
Yeah, I know that. But me and the boys are celebrating. And you know something? You're just in time to join the celebration. I told you to hold him. Well, that's my kind of celebrating, Mr. Hollister. Now there's a new sheriff in the town, namely me. You go on, get him in the lockup. Take Horace Greeley with him.
I still think you made a mistake not bringing a posse.
Look, Harris, you ride into a town with an army, you gotta fight. A lot of townspeople get killed.
Well, what do we do now?
There's only one thing to do. Sit down, relax.
Relax?
Well, you said you wanted a story. Go ahead and write it.
How about that? Hey, you.
Yes, sir, Mr. Logan.
Send that girl over here, the one playing the pianos.
Yes, sir. Right away. Anna, Logan would like to speak with you.
You want to see me?
Yeah, sure, I want to see you. Pull up a chair and sit down, huh?
Well, thank you.
Have a drink?
Why not?
Yeah, why not? You know, as long as you're here, you're mine, right?
Why not?
Why not?
make me.
Mr. Logan, I know this girl. Are you just going to stand there and let that animal do this?
Oh, I promised my boys a high time, honey. You wouldn't want I should break my promise, huh?
Listen, if you want any favors for me, you do one for me. Now make him let her go.
I like a girl with spirit. All right. Hey, Denver, let her go.
What are you talking about?
I can let her go.
Come on, kid, get out of here.
You shouldn't have done that, Logan.
You want an argument about it? You get on over to jail with Chris. And don't you leave there till I told you different. Where was we, honey?
I was just about to pretty up a bit.
Hey, that's a good idea. The prettier the better.
I'll be right back.
Who is it?
A friend. I have a present for you. Pull it up.
Thanks, friend.
I'm sick of sitting here nursemaiding that sheriff while everybody else is out having fun.
Yeah, well, I ain't having no fun.
You know, we ought to run that tin-horn lawman in here and work him over but good. Clay, hurry. Give me that stool.
Wouldn't do no harm to learn him a little respect.
You know, if we really took care of him, then we could go out and hurrah the town again.
Yeah, I like that.
They're coming in here any minute. Let's go get him. Come on out of there, Hollister.
Come on. Hey, where'd you get that?
You haven't got a chance, Hollister.
Get the gun, Sheriff. Inside.
You're building a big fire, Hollister.
I like it warm. Townspeople as you can. I'll meet you in an hour over there at the general store. And have them come in the back way. Look.
But, gentlemen, they'll be gone come morning. What's the sense in risking our lives and property?
Why, sure. Besides, they were just having a little fun.
Fun? Your sheriff's been killed. And today, a man by the name of Mabry was murdered. Would you care to tell Mrs. Mabry the boys were just having a little fun?
Well,
Don't you realize that your town's been taken over by a gang of criminals? Doesn't that mean anything to you? To any of you?
But, well, it's only for one night.
Clay, you just gotta be reasonable. What's the use of us risking our lives and our property?
That's exactly what the Romans said when the Vandals were at the gates just before they burned Rome.
Well, I'm with you, Clay. All the way.
Thanks, Harris.
Sorry to be late, but it wasn't easy to get away.
Welcome. Friend?
Well, of all the nerve.
Yes, you're right, Mrs. Spence. This young lady does have more nerve and more courage than all of the rest of you put together.
Well.
Can I count on any of you?
I got a family, Clay.
A lot of you people fought Apaches when you first came out here. Now you can let a bunch of yahoos take the town away from you.
The town will still be here after they ride off.
Yeah, but it won't be the same town. And you won't be the same people.
But we'll be alive, Mr. Hollister.
Don't bet on it. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. And ladies, I've had my say. You know they call Tombstone the town too tough to die? Well, they'll be calling Sunglow the town too scared to live.
Maybe I can help, Mr. Hollister.
What can a saloon woman do?
You'd be surprised, madam. I'll bet you'd be terribly surprised.
I'm listening, ma'am.
Logan tells me I'm his girl. For as long as he's here, I am. Be at my place at 10. He'll be there. Until 10, then, Mr. Hollister?
Till 10.
Denver? Chris? Come out of there!
Logan, he tricked us. He had a gun hid.
You stupid fool! Somebody passed him that gun. They'll pay for that. We came to this town to celebrate, and we're going to celebrate. And then we're going to burn it to the ground. I'm getting thirsty. Come on.
What time's it getting to be, Harris?
20 minutes of 10.
What's the matter? Something bothering you?
I have to live here. If any of the townspeople see me being too friendly with you, I won't stand a chance in Sunglow.
Don't worry about it. When we get through, there ain't going to be no town.
What do you mean?
We're going to have us a fire, a real big fire.
Logan, all this noise is giving me a terrible headache. Why don't we go somewhere, away from here? Like maybe my house. You need to get some food in you, and I'm a good cook.
That's real hospitable of you. That's what I call real hospitality. Hey, quiet, everybody. I'm going to leave you boys for a while. Oh, and just a minute. If you see Hollister, kill him.
Just a minute. I have to let Murphy know where I'm going.
Don't keep me waiting.
Murphy? I'm to stand up and be counted. They're going to burn the town. Tell Hollister he's in the general store and go in the back way. Smile, Murphy, smile.
A man can take just so much. Just so much.
There she goes. Logan with her? She said he would be. Who is it?
Name's Murphy. Bartender at the saloon.
Let him in.
told me you were here. They're going to burn the town, Sheriff. Before they leave, they're going to burn it.
They all over there?
All except Logan. And they're all pretty drunk.
Yeah, well, maybe we can sober them up. You got a gun behind the bar?
Yeah? Will you use it? I'll use it.
Good enough. You go on back there. Me and my army here will be right over.
Strange, isn't it?
What's that?
How the only two people in town willing to defend it are a saloon woman and a saloon keeper.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah.
Turn around, drop your guns. My men are covering you.
What's the matter with you boys? He doesn't have any men. Take him.
Any more?
Keep an eye on him, Harris. I'm gonna go get Logan.
All right, over with the rest of them. Who ain't got no men?
Oh, come on, have another.
No, you don't.
Logan! Logan! Logan!
What do you want?
We got a ride. The boys are all shot up.
Why?
It's Hollister. We haven't got a chance.
Logan! Come on out with your hands in the air. Do like I say, Logan, you'll live longer.
You go around the back, we'll catch him in a crossfire.
No.
Go on, get down.
Logan! Are you coming out or am I coming in?
Supposing we settle this, Hollister. Just you and me.
All right. You've called it.
Give you one more chance to throw away the gun, Logan.
You ready, Hollister?
Make your move.
Sheriff Hollister, on behalf of a grateful town, I want to thank you.
Well, Mr. Mayor, if it hadn't been for this young lady, you wouldn't have a town. How about thanking her?
Mr. Hollister, Sunglow has no place for a woman like her. She's no better than the rest of the riffraff. And the way she carried on with that outlaw. You coming, Mayor?
Yes, dear.
Mrs. Spence. There are two kind of women in the West. There's the nice, respectable kind like you, and there's Anna's kind. Kind of woman that just does with what she has. When a crisis came to your town, which kind got up and fought?
Well, Mayor.
Thanks again.
Anna, why don't you come to Tombstone? Make a new start.
No, Clay, it's like you said, there's her kind and my kind, and the town doesn't make any difference. Goodbye.
Goodbye, friend.
She's quite a girl. Someday they'll be writing books about women like her.
Yeah? Come on, Horace Greeley. You got a story to write.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
Drop it.
It's all right, Sheriff. It's no trouble. Just going to teach this teasing little filly a lesson. Why don't you just go on back to bed, huh?
I said drop the whip.
Sheriff, this ain't none of your affair. I guess you don't know who I am. My pa's Flint Anson.
Yeah, I know who you are. You boys better get him home before I'm forced to tan his britches. You all right?
I think so.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory. April 13, 1884. Wally Anson was dead. Sheriff Clay Hollister had killed him in self-defense. And as Flint Anson rode into town the next day, the town was alive with tension. Flint.
I want to put an ad in the next edition of your paper. Full page.
Full page? Sure, Flint. Come in. You have a copy?
I'll tell you what to say.
Sit down.
Write this. Attention all interested parties. I promise to pay the sum of $10,000 to the first person or persons bringing me proof of the death of the man who murdered my son.
Wally wasn't murdered, Flint, and you know it. Clay shot back at him in self-defense.
I'm not asking for your opinion. This is my ad.
And this is my newspaper. I won't print it.
All right. Somebody else will.
Flint! Listen to me. Don't do this. Think it over.
Think what over? That Wally was a weakling? That he wasn't the man I wanted him to be? He was my son. If it wasn't for this, I'd kill Hollister myself.
When you took those 2 slugs in that arm, Flint, you were defending homesteaders you didn't even know. You brought the first law and order to this part of the country. Don't throw away what you and so many others have fought so hard to get.
Sounds like one of your editorials. You never had a son. What do you think I fought for? All I can end up with is 6 feet of ground. I was thinking of Wally and his sons.
Flint!
Going through that for, Mr. Clybourne?
Where'd you get these, Willie?
Stage was full of them. Driver dropped off a couple bundles with the mail. And then he gave me $2 and said I should push them up all over town.
Well, didn't you read it?
Yeah, but it's none of my business what it says. $2 isn't easy to come by. Hey, you can't do that. Give me those.
What's going on?
Flint didn't waste much time, did he?
Great.
Hey, you can't do that. Stop it.
That's not going to help any, Harris.
Well, he's not going to put these up in Tombstone.
Mr. Clybourne has no right to stop me from putting them up. Does he, Sheriff?
No, Willie, nobody has. You go right ahead. What are you trying to do, Harris? Impede progress?
Progress?
Yeah, $10,000. It's a lot more than most reward posters offer. Here you go, Willie. I wouldn't want you to run short.
Ain't nothing personal in this. You understand, Sheriff? The driver gave me $2 to do a job. I gotta do it.
Sure.
Yes, sir, gents. I'm offering 2-to-1 odds that Sheriff Clay Hollister doesn't live through the next 7 days. Now, you, sir, there's a certain expression on that handsome, intelligent face of yours that tells me you don't agree with my thinking. All right, sir. I will wager you $50 against your 25 that within 7 days from this date, Sheriff Hollister will be pushing up daisies on Boot Hill. No? All right, you gents name the stakes. I'll lay the odds and cover all bets. Evening, Sheriff. I was just saying to these gents...
I know, mister. I heard.
Nothing personal, Sheriff. I'm a gambler. I bet on anything.
I'm getting fed up with this nothing personal talk. I tell you what, you're a gambler. Why don't you try for the big stake yourself?
I don't know what you mean, Sheriff.
Why fool around with this penny ante stuff? If you're so sure I'm going to be dead within a week, why not fix it so you can't lose?
I'm no gunslinger, Sheriff.
I don't figure you carry this just for luck. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn my back and walk for that door. That'll give you 4, maybe 5 seconds where you can pick up that gun and shoot me. If you do, you'll earn yourself $10,000. Of course, I just might shoot back. Is that clear, mister? What's the matter, gambler? Didn't you like the odds? Admit it, Harris, I'm getting a little jumpy.
Look, Clay, you can't handle this alone. The mayor's calling a meeting at his house tonight. He's asking for volunteers to help you, well, keep an eye on things.
You mean a bodyguard? Well, I can guess who started the idea. Look, I appreciate it, Harris, but don't drag other people into it. It's my fight, just mine.
Well, I don't see it that way. That stage is carrying those posters by the hundreds. The territory will be covered with them.
Yeah. I figure by the end of the week, everybody who can squeeze a trigger and is looking for a fast dollar will be headed this way.
That's right. Well, you don't like my idea. What's yours?
Haven't got one yet. Well, I got a tour to finish.
Oh, Clay, I think I'd like some air myself. Do you mind if I walk along with you?
Yes, Harris, I do. One of them might be a bum shot. Nick you.
Willie.
Hello, Clay.
Jack.
All right, Harris, I know him. He's the marshal from Globe, Jack Bolton.
Clay, you ought to be careful letting kids like this play with a gun. A mighty sharp bead aimed right at the back of your head.
Not much need to ask why, is there, Willie?
Figure somebody's going to kill you, Sheriff. I had nothing against you. But for that kind of money.
Well, least way, he's honest.
What's there to laugh about, Bolton?
He's still alive, ain't he?
Lucky for me you came along when you did, Jack.
Lucky nothing. That's the way I had a plan, Clay. You're the talk of the territory. Thought you might need the help of a brother lawman. I got a great plan, so let's lock this hyena up and I'll tell you all about it.
Marshal John Bolton from Globe had saved Clay Hollister from being shot in the back. The lawman had a plan, and Hollister was willing to listen.
I've known Flint Anson ever since he came out west. And the only way you're going to settle this is with a personal conference. A showdown of words instead of a showdown of guns.
Maybe so. At least it's better than sitting around waiting.
That's right. That's why we catch old Flint by surprise.
You going along too, Marshal?
Yeah, like I said, I know Anson better than anybody. I can talk to him, and if he won't listen, and worse comes to worse, we always got a couple law guns to back us up.
Well, if that's the case, it seems to me it would be better to go up there with a real show of strength. I can get any number of men to ride out there with us.
No, that's no good. You see, this way it's man to man, just Clay and Flint. I'm only going to go along just to try to get them together.
I don't know, Clay. You'd be riding right into Flint's stronghold.
You got a better plan? Well, maybe we can think of one. No, Harris, I think Jack's right. Personal showdown, one way or the other.
That's right, son. Old Flint's eyes are going to pop right out of his head and we can ride him up together.
Let's go.
I don't like it, Clay.
I haven't liked it from the beginning.
Figure you want to meet up with those gents. Bounty hunters. Yeah, just the beginning. Well, let's go, Clay. They're heading for Tombstone.
Jake? Jake? Wake up!
Harris Claiborne, what are you doing here?
Wake up, Jake. I want you to send a telegraph message.
At this hour of the night? Who to?
The mayor of Globe. Come on, Jake.
Give me a chance to put my pants on, will you?
This is more important than your pants. Now, you send this, and don't you go back to bed until you get an answer. You hear me? It says what I think it will. I've got a long ride ahead of me. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Nothing. I just got a bad back, Clay. Not as young as I used to be. I've been riding pretty hard. What do you say we rest the horses?
Sure, we got a few minutes.
There's a stream over yonder. I'll water the horses down. If you want to build a fire, we'll have a spot of breakfast, all right?
You call it your plan.
Oh, boy.
Are you sure the telegraph's working?
Of course it's working. You got to give him time. Probably got the mayor of Globe up the same way you got me. Give him time.
Well, we should have had an answer by now. Are you sure it's working? What's it say?
Bolton? This? Charge. No.
As law man.
Thanks, Jake.
Hey, won't you want your message?
Don't move, boy. Unbuckle your gun belt and bring your hands up real high.
You really do have a plan, don't you?
That's better, boy. Now you raise up on those hind legs of yours, real nice and slow.
You know, Jack, anybody had asked me, I would have bet 5 years' pay you'd be the last man in the world to do this.
5 years? Don't be a piker. Make it 10 years. 10 years of pay and you still don't come close to that bounty. Oh, yeah, they give you a badge and a gun and a high-sounding title, and for $78 a month, they ask you to go out and risk your neck.
You didn't used to talk that way when we rode together. You used to say, if a man was interested in money, this was the wrong job for him.
Yeah, I guess I did say that. Just shows you how local a man can get sometime. There was a time when I believed all those things. You protect a town, they'll appreciate it, respect you, repay you. But I found out different. Clay, I'm 40 years old. 22 years I spent behind this stinking badge. And they said I was getting too old and too slow. Oh, they kept me on all right, but as a deputy. But only because nobody had the stomach to fire me outright.
So you turned bounty hunter?
No, I hung on. Then I came across this bank robber who offered me $500 if I'd let him go. Clay, there was a time when I would have busted his neck. But I took the money. Yeah, I took it. The town found out about it. Gave me exactly 24 hours to get out.
What do you want me to do? Tell you how badly you were treated?
Oh, no, Clay. $10,000 buys a heap of comfort.
How are you going to explain the shooting?
Everybody knows the bounty hunters were gunning for you. In fact, I had to wing one myself back there in Tombstone. Those two we saw a while ago, they ought to be in town by now. We'll just say that we were ambushed. Might even give myself a little flesh wound to show how I was trying to protect you again.
You think they'll believe you?
Well, that's just a chance I'm willing to take.
Then how are you going to collect the reward?
Anson. Anson's a friend of mine, remember? He'll be the only one that really knew what happened. That satisfy you?
Nothing satisfies me right now.
Well, it's getting late. It's just about that time. Now, how do you want it? In the front or in the back?
I don't suppose looking me in the eye is going to stop you now.
I'm afraid not.
If it's all the same to you, I'd just as soon be facing you.
They were right. I was getting too old.
the first body you've bought, Anson?
There's liable to be a lot more before this is over. Hello, Harris. Glad you're here. I got a story for you. The morning of April 18th, there was a final showdown between the hired gunman of Flint Anson and Sheriff Clay Hollister. Now, which one of you was tempted by the 10,000 like he was?
He was my friend.
Yes, Flint, he liked you too. And your money. There'll be a lot more come for your money. You won't know him. Maybe you won't care.
You might be interested in this, Anson. That's a petition signed by the citizens of Tombstone, asking that you retract that price on Clay's head. Look it over. Some of those names are your best friends, and they wanted me to tell you something else. They've always respected and admired you. You once fought on the side of law and order. But the first time it hits you personally, you're on the other side. Think it over, Flint. All the killing in the world isn't going to bring your boy back.
We'll take care of the body.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
Now, baby, will you stop worrying? There's nothing to be afraid of.
Are you sure, Frank? I can't help being scared.
Have I ever lied to you?
My lawyer's working on an appeal right now. He'll take it direct to the territorial governor. He feels there's a very good chance he can get a reduction of your sentence.
Perhaps even a pardon.
But what if he can't?
At the very worst, you'll have to serve 18 months. Baby, I said at the very worst.
Whether it's 18 days or 18 months, I'll be working for you all the way.
That's a promise, Renee.
You'll write to me.
Sure.
Time's up, Fallon.
What's the hurry, Sheriff?
You asked for 5 minutes, you've had it. The sooner she gets to Yuma, the sooner her time starts. And maybe she'll find out what kind of a deal you roped her into.
You're pretty free with your mouth, aren't you?
You know you're the one I should be taking to Yuma.
Suspect what you like, Sheriff. Proving it, that is something else.
We'll see. Out.
I'll be working for you, day and night.
I'll be working, too. Like you said, proving it is the important part. better get some rest. We'll be leaving in half an hour.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened in the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory. Renee Carter had been tried and found guilty of armed robbery and assault in a recent Tombstone holdup. Sheriff Clay Hollister was preparing to deliver her to the territorial prison at Yuma, where she had been ordered to serve a sentence of 18 months for committing the crime.
Oh, Harris.
Expecting trouble?
I hope not.
How's she taking it?
Yeah, she still expects Fallon to get her sentence reduced or commuted.
And they'll live happily ever after, huh?
Yeah, something like that.
Clay?
Yeah?
I know how you feel about Fallon, and I agree he's no good, but...
But what?
Well, it is possible he had nothing to do with robbing and slugging Rogers. Maybe the girl's story is true. She did it by herself.
Harris, what did Doc Cunningham say about Rogers' injuries?
Just that he was hit with something heavy.
Hard enough to fracture his skull. Not one blow, but 4. Lacerations on his scalp prove that.
What's your point?
I've known some pretty hardcore women in my time. I just don't think that Renee Carter's one of them.
Well, her purse was found practically under his body.
That proves that she was there, but not that she did the beating.
Well, if she didn't, she's crazy to stick with that story. Rogers is still in critical condition. Doc Cunningham gives him less than a 50-50 chance. If Rogers dies...
I know. The charge against her would be murder.
What are we waiting for?
Nothing at all. See you at the end of the week.
Right.
Fresno. Whoop.
Right. I guess you ain't very sentimental. Just rode by the law coming into town. Looked like they were taking your girlfriend to Yuma prison.
Couldn't be. My girlfriend's right here. Pour us a drink, will you, honey?
Boy, you sure are something, Frank.
That's right. Don't you ever forget it.
I don't know about you, but I'm getting a little bit hungry. Well, come on. A little food will do you some good. You can rest inside out of the sun.
How far are we going today?
Pantano. Spend the night there, get an early start in the morning.
Will I have to stay in the jail there overnight?
I'm afraid the county doesn't provide funds for hotel rooms, even for female prisoners.
Sheriff? Is Yuma very bad?
It's a prison, Miss Carter. 2 years can seem like an awful long time in a place like Yuma.
Frank will get me out.
Maybe. Must be quite a man, this Frank fella.
And what is that supposed to mean?
Oh, nothing in particular. Just thinking out loud. Wondering, you might say.
About what?
About what Fallon must have offered you to get you to risk being hanged.
Hanged?
Sure. Rogers dies, it's murder.
He is going to die.
He's still in a coma. He may never recover consciousness. About time we got going.
Sheriff,
Yes, ma'am?
if that man, Rogers, if he does die,
You'll be brought back to Tombstone to stand trial for murder.
he wouldn't.
Yes, they would. And Fallon will let you take that rap, too. Yeah, he's quite a man.
You don't give up, do you, Sheriff?
Nope.
Oh, Clay, how are you?
Dave?
Is this your prisoner?
Yeah, Renee Carter.
Well, I'll be.
Would you lock me up now, Marshal? I'm tired. I'd like to be alone.
Oh, yes, ma'am. It's a pleasure, ma'am. I mean, right this way, miss. We don't get many women here, miss. If you need anything, miss, just holler.
She will. Some blankets draped around the bars.
Hmm?
Give the lady some privacy.
Oh, sure.
Dave. Huh? The door.
There you are, gentlemen. Read 'em and weep.
Tough luck, fellas.
You brought me luck, baby.
From the looks of that stack, Fallon, there must be some truth to the old adage about gamblers.
What are you talking about?
Lucky at cards, unlucky in love.
Your eyes must be going bad, Clyburn.
I've just come from the telegraph office.
Some other time, newsman. How about some blackjack?
Judge Leary sent a telegraph order to the sheriff. The order was for Hollister to bring Renee Carter back to Tombstone.
Bring her back?
To stand trial for murder.
Rogers
died this afternoon. I thought you would like to know.
It's got nothing to do with me.
I was under the impression Renee Carter was a friend of yours.
When it comes to murder, Clyburn, I've got no friends. Male or female.
Too bad. She's gonna need a friend. Maybe when she finds out she hasn't got one, she'll change her mind.
About what, editor?
About a lot of things. Ought to be a very interesting trial. Good evening, gentlemen.
Not now, not now.
I don't like it, Fallon.
She isn't back yet.
Carter,
I'm ready.
take your time. You're going to be here for a while.
Why?
I got a couple of wires. One last night and one this morning. The first was from Judge Leary ordering you back to Tombstone. Rogers died yesterday.
Oh, no.
The second was from a friend of mine. It seems that Fallon and Blake left Tombstone this morning, headed in this direction.
Frank's coming to help me. Maybe the governor has approved my appeal.
There hasn't been time for that. Fallon isn't coming to help you. He's going to try to kill you.
July 8, 1889. The road to Pantano, Arizona Territory.
I spotted a dozen good places, Frank. We keep going, we'll be clear to Pantano.
I know what I'm doing. There's a spot about 10 miles this side of Pantano. Road cuts off in the hills. A lot of big boulders.
All right, you're the boss.
Well, it took some doing, but I got it. That ought to do just fine. I'd like to borrow your hat and cape for a few hours.
What for?
It's a little plan I've got to prove to you how much Fallon really thinks of you.
What do you mean?
You think he's going to save you. I think he's going to kill you.
Still trying, Sheriff.
You ought to be glad he is, miss. You see, I figure if I can prove to you that Fallon is using you to save his neck, you might tell the truth about the robbery.
I told the truth.
I don't think so.
If Frank tries to free me, that doesn't mean that he has anything to do with...
And if he tries to kill you?
All right, Sheriff. But you're wasting your time.
What time is it?
20 past 1.
You think maybe Hollister knows we're waiting?
Not unless he's a fortune teller. All right, get down the road. We'll hit him from 2 angles.
Right. Remember, I ain't shooting at the girl, just the sheriff.
All right, so go on.
Up, Rowdy.
money.
Convinced?
Not exactly. After all, you
Could have done it myself? Is that what you were going to say? Dave Short is taking Blake's body over to the undertaker right now. Would you like to see it?
No.
Do you think I arranged that too? Blake and Fallon put those holes in your cape and nobody else.
Is Frank?
No, he's all right. He's probably halfway back to Tombstone by now. With you dead, he's got nothing to worry about.
I want to see Frank, Sheriff. Let's get started back for Tombstone.
What for? So he can lie to you again? So he can ruin your life to save his own? What does it take to convince you? Look, Renee, we know that Ed Rogers was having a winning streak at Frank's table. Won almost $1,000. So Frank told you to get the old man alone, that he wanted to talk to him, didn't he? Fallon and Blake did the beating, didn't they?
I want to see Frank.
All right. All right. Right now, Fallon thinks you're dead. We're going to give him a surprise he'll never forget. Get your things together. We're going back to Tombstone as soon as I can send a wire.
Been somewhere, Fallon?
What's it to you?
Nothing. Nothing at all. Just wondered if you'd heard the news.
Why don't you go peddle your papers?
Too bad about Renee Carter. But I guess it's all for the best.
How was that?
She's dead. The wire came a couple of hours ago from Pantano. Seems it was your friend Blake who was mixed up in the Rogers killing. You heard Sheriff Clay Hollister was bringing her back here to stand trial. He must have decided to shut her up for good.
Well, newsman, what do you know? The ladies are thirsty, so keep it coming. Yes, sir, Frank Fallon knows how to treat his friends. I've got one simple little rule. My friends treat me right, I treat them right. I always say, you treat people right, and they're your friends. Frank Fallon hasn't got an enemy in the world. No, sir.
You've got one, Fallon. And that one's gonna hang you.
I'm getting fed up with you, Hollister.
Oh, I haven't even started on you yet.
You got
You're
no
under
right.
arrest
Arrest?
for the murder of Ed Rogers.
Renee Carter murdered Rogers, and you know it.
Why did you offer to help her? How about that appeal to the governor?
What appeal? Why don't you check for yourself and see, Hollister? There's nothing like that there. Not that my lawyer knows about.
Oh. Harris.
How did you...
How did she what, Fallon? Come back to life after you killed her?
A trick. A lousy trick.
Mm-hmm. And you fell for it. You thought you'd killed the only person who could convict you of murder.
And I will, Frank. I'll help them put that rope around your neck. It was just like you thought, Sheriff. Exactly. Only after I got Ed Rogers alone, and Frank and Blake started beating him, I fainted. When I woke up, Frank was carrying me to my room. I'd lost my purse. Or someone took it.
Oh, baby, baby, you're not going to listen to the things this man's been telling you. Look, honey, this is Frank. Why, I'd do anything for you. You know that.
Then hang for me.
Let's go, Fallon.
No. No?
Hard or easy. Any way you want it.
Oh, I could kill you, baby.
Clay? What did Leary say? He's all for it. So's the town council. Let's go tell her.
Renee.
Is something wrong?
No, ma'am, something's right. Judge Leary has agreed to review your case.
Practically insisted.
But why?
Justice isn't really blind, Miss Carter. Your only crime was in covering up for Fallon.
You see, you helped the law, so now the law's trying to help you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
Me first, gentlemen. This ought to run close to $9,000. Much better than last time. Get the driver's body off and wait for me at Indian Springs.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory. Another Argus wagon ambushed, 2 more brutal killings, and now, for the first time, committed in the jurisdiction of Clay Hollister, Sheriff of Tombstone.
driver and the shotgun guard from the Argus mine shipment. Wait here.
You think it's the same three men?
If you want to call them men. Last month, they hit that first wagon over here by Pantano. 2 weeks later, they ambushed the second wagon, Sonoyta. And day before yesterday, they're clear down here.
And every time it's a wagon belonging to Argus.
Yeah. Well, come on, Quint. Let's go report the robbery to Whitaker.
Right. And all three of them got away? Makes you look kind of foolish, don't it, Sheriff?
Oh, come on, Burgess. The sheriff isn't responsible for the entire Arizona territory.
He's responsible for Cochise County. You don't even know who you're looking for.
I know what I'm looking for, Burgess. That's how they get their information. They must have known where each of those shipments was heading and along what trail.
Now, Clay, you've seen how cautious we've been. We've followed every suggestion you've made.
Each time the wagon was carrying what you people call a small shipment of silver.
That's true. Less than $10,000 in silver ingots. The big shipments haven't been touched.
Any explanation?
Yeah, big shipments have 2 or 3 guards. Do that with a small load and it'll get through.
He's got a point.
Sure, he's got a point. An experienced guard costs $100 a day. Men like Bat Masterson, even more. You put 2 or 3 of those on our small shipments, there goes our entire margin of profit.
When's our next wagon going out?
I'm not certain.
I'm driving that wagon myself, guard or no guard.
Thanks, Burgess. I'll think it over.
You think he means it?
Yeah, I believe he does. I also believe that if he does take the next wagon out, there's a good possibility that it won't be attacked.
Meaning?
Clay, there are 5 men who know the details of our silver shipments. 4 of them are officers of the company. The 5th man is Burgess.
You think he could be the contact with the killers?
I don't know.
There's one way to find out for sure. Let him drive that next shipment. I'll ride shotgun.
You're the sheriff. You call it.
I've called it.
These go to Globe, and this bundle's for Tucson. Thanks.
How many papers do you send out, Harris?
About 700 now. The epitaph practically saturates the territory.
I can believe that. I even found a piece of your front page out where that last Argus wagon was ambushed.
Is that your only clue?
Yeah, you can call it that.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Whitaker.
Suppose you can find advertising space for this in tomorrow morning's paper?
Mr. Whitaker, for an ad that big, I'll print a new page.
I'll see you later.
Oh, Clay, if you got a moment, I'd like to talk to you.
All right, I'll wait outside.
Good.
Still short-handed, huh?
Yes, can you read it all right?
Steady jobs in Tombstone for dependable men.
Set it up in that big black type. I'd kind of like to attract the attention of the out-of-town readers.
Let's see. Immediate openings for 10 drillers, also pushers, teamsters, and hard rock miners. Highest pay.
Just set it up like the other ads.
Sure will. And, thanks, Mr. Whitaker.
Just bring some help to Tombstone. Clay, You still willing to ride guard on our next wagon?
Of course.
You'll be riding with Burgess.
Does he know about it?
No.
Well, when do we leave?
Monday morning, 8 o'clock. Sure hope I'm wrong about him.
Just have to wait and see.
Well, I'm glad you brought the wagon back. Where'd you find it?
Not far from Indian Springs. Horses had been unhitched and they were grazing nearby.
How do you figure it?
I don't know. Looked like 3 horses left the scene of the ambush, but only 2 of them were being ridden. One man must have driven the wagon and left it near Indian Springs.
Well, it's all loaded and ready to go. I hope we don't lose it this time. Here comes Burgess. I'll let you break the news to him.
Well, Hollister, what are you doing here?
Oh, I thought you might need some help on this run.
Don't know as I do. From you, that is.
Well, you're going to get it anyway. I've decided to ride shotgun for you.
Oh? When did you decide?
A couple of days ago.
Kept it a secret, huh? You and Whitaker. So I'm the one who's been tipping off them bushwhackers.
You just concentrate on getting this wagon through to Tucson.
Was I you, Hollister, I wouldn't trust me any further than I could throw one of them 90-pound ingots we're hauling. Have a cigar.
No, thank you.
Just a little rock slide, Sheriff.
I don't like the look of it.
What's the matter? You nervous? You mean I'm going to have to go out there and clear them rocks by myself, huh?
I'll cover you.
I'll tell you what, Hollister. I'll stay here and you go out there and clear them rocks. Wait till I see that Whitaker accusing a man just because...
Burgess! I'm all right. Stay under cover.
Never figured they'd jump us, Sheriff. Sorry. I've always had a big mouth.
I'm sorry, too. I guess we had you figured wrong.
You all right? Better than him. Who is he?
I don't know. Never saw him before.
Wake me up when we get back to Tombstone.
grateful that Burgess is alive. Clay, I sure owe him an apology.
Yeah. I guess we misjudged him.
Oh, that killer you brought in, who's he?
Body's still unidentified.
And the other two men?
I only saw their backs as they were riding away.
Well, don't feel too badly about it, Clay. Burgess is alive. You did bring back the silver.
There is one thing. I was wondering if there could be any...
Yes?
Sorry, the clerk said to come in.
Oh, I imagine you're looking for a job?
Yeah, that's right, a job.
I'm sorry I can't see you now. Just wait in the hall.
Yes, sir.
You were saying?
Oh, nothing, just that there's no new evidence. I'll let you know if anything comes up.
Oh, thanks, Clay. Thanks for everything you've done.
Clay Hollister had found newspaper clippings from the epitaph at the scene of both robberies of the silver shipments from the Argus mines. For some reason, he had not mentioned it to the mine superintendent, John Whitaker.
Guess you heard we had a little trouble.
Yeah. You know better than to come into Tombstone.
That tin star didn't recognize me.
Doesn't make any difference.
He'll never get us.
No one will if you follow orders. Just keep on storing the silver at Indian Springs. Now go find yourself a new man to work with. Keep on taking your orders from my ads. From now on, I never want to see you in Tombstone, do you hear?
I heard you.
Hi, Harris. How about a game of cribbage?
Sure. Well, how's your puzzle coming?
Puzzling. Whitaker keeps changing the route of silver delivery to Tucson, and he still keeps getting robbed. It just doesn't make any sense.
It makes sense to somebody. Somebody's making a fortune.
Yeah. Harris, do you remember that piece of your front page that I found out where the other Argus wagon was held up?
Yeah? The October 11th issue, you said.
Uh-huh. Did Whitaker have a want ad in that issue?
Well, I don't know. Let's find out.
What about our game?
Later, Quinn.
Later. Later.
Good thing I keep a complete file of the epitaphs, or you never would solve any of your crimes.
I'm glad it makes you feel needed. Where's the paper?
Let's see. You said October 11th.
One of Whitaker's ads, all right. And I took this one off of the outlaw who was killed.
Well, that's Whitaker's latest ad. Here. There it is.
Printed 4 days before Burgess and I were ambushed. You know, Harris, this hold-up gang may be getting information on time, destination, and route of these shipments from a code in these ads.
Well, how? John Whitaker writes these ads himself.
I know, but Burgess and Whitaker are the only two men outside of the owners of the Argus who had the information on these shipments. And Burgess cleared himself yesterday. Harris, I need your help. I want to go over every one of Whitaker's ads, and if there's a code, we'll break it.
All right. Let's start here and work back.
And the Pantano robbery checks, too. This ad told the killers where to go and when to get there.
Well, it looks like we've broken their code. But I wish we had a few more cases to go on so we could be sure.
No. More cases mean more killings. I hope that Whitaker's next move is to send the bullion by way of Fairbanks again. A repeat shipment would give us the final check on the code that we need.
Yeah. Are you going to ride shotgun?
You just let me know the minute that Whitaker brings in the next ad. I'll ride shotgun, all right. Maybe to Fairbanks or maybe someplace else.
Carol.
You called me, sir?
Yes. I want you to take this ad to the epitaph for tomorrow's newspaper. And then, if you don't mind, stop in and see the sheriff and ask him to come see me at his convenience.
Yes, sir.
According to this, you'll need that next Tuesday.
Whitaker's ad?
Yep. Have you talked to him yet?
No, I sent Quint instead. Needs 6 drillers at once. Now, drillers, that's the code word for Fairbanks, and 6 is the desert trail.
Apply 7 a.m. Tuesday. That's when the shipment leaves, right?
All right. When does this get printed?
Tomorrow. He wants to see a proof this afternoon.
All right. Print it just this way, but only for those papers that are going to stay right here in town. What did Whitaker want?
A guard. You, preferably. For a silver shipment he's sending to Tucson by way of Fairbanks.
When?
Early next week. He said the exact day would depend on when he has a good driver available.
Did he mention a route?
Oh, he said he'd talk that over with you.
Yeah. He's still being careful that nobody finds out too much, except for his own gun slicks. Well, we'll just have to see that the gun slicks are far away from Fairbanks. All right, Whitaker will see his ad, just as it's written here, just as he wants it. But for the out-of-town papers, make it read like this.
Change 6 drillers to 8 hard rock miners and make the departure time 4 hours later.
That's right. I want to give those outlaws plenty of time to locate a good ambush spot on the canyon trail to Tanque Verde.
Flagstaff, needs it for Phoenix, needs for Prescott. That's it. Hit it.
There they go, Clay. Those copies have Whitaker's ad with the changes you made. Local edition, word for word, the way Whitaker wrote it.
Good enough. Quint and I are seeing Whitaker on Monday. We got a story cooked up that'll keep him happy until Tuesday.
Well, this about tomorrow, gentlemen?
Neither Quint nor I are riding on that shipment to Fairbanks tomorrow.
Why, Clay? It's a little late to get other guards, and I don't think I should postpone it.
Well, you don't have to postpone it. Send it without guards. Got this message from the sheriff of Pima County.
Argus gang reported seen in Tucson and heading west. Large cash silver ingots located and being held in Tanque Verde. Suggest Argus authorities try to identify as loot from recent robberies. Tanque Verde? Why, that's impossible.
Impossible, Mr. Whitaker?
Well,
it's worth looking into, even if the mill stamps have been hammered out.
They have been hammered out?
Yes, but you should be able to identify ingots from your own crushing mill anyway, shouldn't you?
Why, yes, I should be able to recognize them. What do you want me to do, Clay?
You drive a wagon to Tanque Verde yourself. Quint and I'll ride shotgun on whatever you bring back.
Fine. But you sure that wagon to Fairbanks won't be waylaid?
I'm sure of it.
Looks like we got us an alert shotgun rider today.
Well, you know how these kids are. Stay up all night and still expect to do a good job in the morning. Well, are we ready to go? Then why don't you grab yourself a couple of winks so you'll do us some good on the way back with the silver? Oh, I could sure use it.
Sound asleep. I guess we really don't need him with an empty wagon. Nope.
Reach up. You're covered front and rear. Don't shoot. It's Whitaker.
Clint. Hold him. Hold it. You won't need those guns. Drop it. Start climbing. Real nice shooting back there, Quint. Especially for a fellow who's fast asleep.
Sure put him to sleep.
Time to wake him up. Come on, Whitaker, get up. Can't lie there all day. Gotta make room for some friends of yours. You won't have any trouble identifying.
Come on, get up in there.
The whole territory will be interested in today's paper, Clay.
Hey, it seems kind of light, Harris. What's the matter? Not as much advertising as usual?
I'm not complaining. At the rate Whitaker was robbing the Argus mines, they couldn't have paid the bills much longer anyway.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
Tombstone, Arizona Territory. 2 weeks later, June 29, 1882. Morning, Quint.
Hi, Harris.
How do you like the sheriff's desk?
Well, I don't like the responsibilities. How about a game of cribbage?
Yeah, I've got time for a game.
Good. It won't take me long to trim you. My deal.
Yeah. Any news from Clay?
No news. My crib. Well, there's nibs for a pair.
8.
16 for 2 more.
17.
18, 2 more for the pair of aces.
22.
Cribbage, huh?
Yep.
Who's winning?
I am.
We just started.
Telegram?
Sheriff in?
Out of town. Expect him back soon.
Oh,
Hey, wait a minute. Is that a telegram?
Yeah, it's for the sheriff.
Well, I'm his deputy.
That's right. You're his deputy.
And when Clay's gone, I'm in charge.
That's right, Ben.
You know what I'm in charge of? The telegraph office.
Look, if it's personal, okay, but if it's official business, hand it over. Come on.
It's official business. It's addressed to the sheriff. So if you want to hear about the 4 escaped convicts heading east from Yuma, you just ask the sheriff when he comes back and picks up his telegram.
4 escaped convicts.
Heading this way from Yuma, huh?
How'd you know?
How'd I know?
Oh, well, I guess you can handle it.
And Ben and his practical jokes.
Pretty grim joke. 4 escaped convicts.
Yeah. I wonder what the odds are that... No, it's impossible.
What?
I was wondering what the odds are that Clay, riding down alone from Globe, might run into him.
Nah, I wouldn't book those odds. Look. Aces and eights. Dead man's hand.
Where are you going?
I'm going to send a telegram to Yuma. I want more information about 4 escaped convicts.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory. That same day, June 29, 1882, on the road to Tombstone.
On your feet, drop your guns.
Looks like we caught ourselves a lawman.
Maybe, maybe not. These can be bought or stolen.
That one wasn't.
Who are you?
I'm Clay Hollister. Who are you?
Where are you from?
I'm from Tombstone. You'll find out all about it.
Tombstone, huh? Well, that's interesting. Because that's what you're going to get out of this deal, mister. A tombstone. You did a good job on him, mister.
He was dead when I got here, and you know it.
Yeah, sure.
Well, check my guns.
You tell them the truth. I guess we get somebody else to thank. Toby?
I didn't kill Finch. I never killed anybody in my life.
Parker?
Well, I'd thought about it, but I didn't do it. That leaves you, Eggleston.
Not me. I like Finch.
Oh, looks like maybe he shot himself in the back, huh?
Maybe. Right now, we're going to take care of you, Hollister.
Kill him here.
Hey, what do you want to do? Go back to jail in a hurry? Somebody else might have heard those shots. Come on, let's go.
What happened to Carlson?
You a friend of yours?
That's right.
Well, he had quite a place here, stacked with provision, a fortune, and silver. Murder was a habit with Finch.
on to that bed.
You do everything they tell you to, Toby?
Shut your mouth.
What'll you do if I don't? Kill me?
Hold it, Toby. He's needling you.
Yeah? And you tie him up.
Well, why tie him up? What are we waiting for? If you kill me, you're going to have to kill both of them.
What do you mean?
If they get captured, they'll testify against you. And you'll hang for murder.
Well, I wouldn't put it past you. Get rid of me and the Silver's a two-way split. Maybe Finch wasn't the only greedy one around here, huh?
Finch wanted too big a share. I only want what's coming to me.
That's what I want. I plan to get it.
Oh, they'll give it to you.
You're working hard, aren't you, Sheriff?
You got a gun, Eggleston. You kill him.
What's the matter? You scared? You weren't scared of Finch?
Go ahead. You do it.
You better remember, Eggleston. You got witnesses.
I got a way to settle this. Low card kills.
I'll settle for that.
Yeah. Then Lady Luck killed him.
I can tell you right now who's going to lose. And Lady Luck won't have anything to do with it.
Clay back yet?
Not yet. Anything on your mind?
Same thing that's on yours.
Another wire about those 4 escaped convicts. They tracked them as far as Cochise County, where they broke into a general store for guns and supplies.
I remember this one, Finch. Read about the trial. He's a killer, Quint.
Know anything about the others?
A little. Finch is the only out-and-out killer. The rest are borderline cases.
Well, maybe that's why they're heading for the border, huh?
Yeah. Let me know when Clay gets back.
Maybe I ought to send a wire to Globe.
What for?
Well, if they are still in the county, well, who knows? 4 against 1's pretty rough odds.
Cochise County covers a lot of territory, Quint. And if Clay does meet up with them, it wouldn't surprise me if he came riding into town with 4 prisoners.
I still think I'll send a telegram.
It's not necessary. I already have.
All right. Low card kills. Turn them over.
King. Three.
Seems like I got a good chance of being the middleman. 9. Looks like you're elected, Toby.
So Eggleston dealt, huh? Well, like I told you before, I knew who was going to lose. They're getting ready to shoot you in the back right now.
Why, you...
All right, Toby. Now.
You dealt. Why didn't we cut?
Maybe you were afraid to. What difference does it make anyway?
Plenty. This time we cut.
What are we going to do? Keep cutting cards until it comes out the way you want it to?
All right, I've got it. 3 guns, 3 bullets. We'll draw together. He gets them all.
June 29, 1882. Mid-morning in Tombstone. Clay Hollister was several hours overdue.
Any news from Globe?
According to this answer, Clay left Globe before dawn.
Should have been back a couple hours ago.
Yeah. Going somewhere?
Taking a ride.
Any place in particular?
North.
Think you might meet Clay riding in?
Maybe. Where are you going?
Keep you company.
Oh, suit yourself. I'm just riding out to exercise my horse.
Well, why the shotgun? Gonna force him to exercise?
Well, you know, I'm not superstitious, Harris, but I still don't like the idea of that dead man's hand showing up.
I don't like it either. If anything does happen to Clay, it's your fault.
My fault?
Sure. You're the one who suggested that game of cribbage.
You're real funny, Harris.
Draw at the count of 3.
May I stand?
Go ahead, Hollister.
Well, at least I got one consolation. Finch's killer will make sure that the other two of you keep me company. Of course, whoever the other two of you are, you could stay alive if you turn the killer over to me. You could be in Mexico with the silver by the time I could follow you.
Start counting.
Hollister, you just give me an idea. A 50-50 split of the silver is better than a bullet. Toby killed Finch. We killed Toby in self-defense. That puts us in the clear.
Yeah, once we get rid of the witness. Killing me isn't going to save you from a bullet in the back.
He can trust me.
Sure he can. Just as much as you can trust him.
I'm the only one that knows his country, Parker. You're never going to see Mexico without me. You have to trust me. What about it?
What about him?
Well, we'll take care of our friend, accidental-like. Outside. Come on, move.
Hold it.
Ground's all churned up. Somebody heading for Tombstone. Changed their mind, went off in that direction.
Why? Nothing up there.
Yeah.
Think it might be Clay?
Maybe. Let's go.
Well, let's dump him in the mine.
Later. You know how to set off an explosion?
There's nothing to it.
As long as you get clear before the dynamite goes off. There's nothing worse than being buried under tons of earth.
Well, take your time. Maybe you can think of something worse. I'm in no rush.
But we are. You stay here.
Sure. Sure, you stay here while he runs off with the silver. I'll go with you.
I can carry a few sticks of dynamite myself.
You might trip and fall. With the silver.
It's him, all right. Finch.
Prints, lots of them.
Yeah, and I think I know whose.
Yeah, maybe Clay's too.
Maybe.
His badge.
Maybe he's still alive.
Here it is. You wanted to come, you carry it. Keep your eye on Hollister while I find some fuses. If you can trust me that far. Give me a hand with this junk. These are too short.
I'll just tie a couple of them together.
Too many knots. Put out the fuse. This'll do it.
Inside the body.
Well, you got here just in time.
In time for what?
To cut the ropes.
These are the escaped convicts.
I don't know, I guess so.
Hands tied, no guns. All right, I give up. How'd you do it?
I had a little help. Greed, lady luck.
And maybe the dead man's hand.
got it.
Who killed him?
I don't know.
I guess the Lucky Mule mine wasn't very lucky for anybody.
No, destroyed all of them, including Eggleston here. Say, Quint.
Yeah?
What were you doing riding around out here? Who's minding the office?
The office? Where you just rode out to? I'll be hanged if I'm going to worry about him next time.
I never did. I was just out exercising my horse.
Eggleston seems to have lost some of his confidence.
Well, I imagine he'll perk up in time to give some fast answers to the federal marshal.
They better be fast. Say, Quint, how about doing the rounds?
Yeah, as soon as we finish our game.
There's.
All right, why not? Day's shot anyway.
Well, I'm ahead. I've pegged 6 points.
Yeah, I know.
And you haven't pegged any.
I know.
Say, you're not using that same old deck, are you?
Yeah, why not?
Well, that's the one that gave you the aces and eights, the dead man's hand. There might be another one in there.
Say, Quint, if you don't mind, I do have a paper to get out tomorrow.
Yeah. I got my responsibilities, too.
You wouldn't be superstitious, would you?
Superstitious? Of course not.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.